That's a game day decision, but Caesars William Hill has the Suns as healthy favorites to win their first NBA title. Phoenix currently giving 5.5 to underdog Milwaukee for game number 1. Meanwhile, Luka Doncic and Slovenia looking to make the Olympics for the first time, facing Lithuania. And Doncic had himself a game as the Lithuania hopeful were there. History does, in fact, repeat itself. March 19th against the Trailblazers. Here's Doncic. No look over the head pass to Tim Hardaway Jr. Three-pointer. One more look on Sunday. What a terrific pass indeed. Slovenia leads 80-69 heading into the final frame. And in that fourth quarter, over 5 minutes to go, first by any player in the qualifiers, and Slovenia have done it. 96-85. Here's Luka on being named the MVP.
I don't care about the MVP. We won here. We're going to Olympics, like he said, the first time in our country. It's amazing, you know. I think every kid in Slovenia dreams about being in the Olympics. I did too. So here we are. You know, we fought really, really hard, and I think we deserve to be here.
Over the last week, I've had the chance to.
Have you talked to Phil about this? Because by saying a racial move, then you're calling Phil a racist.
I don't got a problem with that.
Do you think Phil was or is?
Oh, yeah.
I've got to be honest. The more I hear from this Scottie Pippen Bourbon promotional tour, the less I like it. I backed up Scottie weeks ago when he made his point to GQ about the differences in KD and LeBron's style of play. Backed him up, right here on Stephen A's World, in fact. But this, saying Phil Jackson is a racist, doubling down on it, Scottie Pippen should be ashamed of himself. Let's be clear about something. That word has never been uttered about Phil Jackson before, not in his more than 40 years around the game as a player, a coach, or an executive. Not by Michael Jordan, not by Dennis Rodman, not by Shaq, not even by Kobe Bryant, who had a very, very complicated relationship with that man, Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson, if nothing else, was respected. I don't know. Maybe Scottie is sampling too much of his own product before these interviews. I don't know. But what he's saying is utterly ridiculous. And it doesn't just make him look foolish. It hurts all of us. Because when you throw accusations of racism around without any justification, without any receipts, and it gives oxygen and space to actual racists. Because people start to ignore incidents of actual racism. The fake blends in with the real until it all gets ignored. All this over a shot at the end of a game 27 years ago? All this because Scottie Pippen, for all his success, still clearly feels envious of Michael Jordan's status because he called Michael Jordan selfish. Remember that too, right? I'm going to say it again. Scottie Pippen should be ashamed of himself. I'll tell you what, this bourbon he's selling better be damn good if we have to put up with all of this nonsense. 27 years later, here you show up with a bad hairdo, by the way, going off, calling people racist. 27 years later? Give me question number 1. You know what time it is. It's time for you to holler at your boy. Let's get at it. First up, Christian, what you got for me?
What's up, Stephen A? It's your biggest fan from the Bay. My question for you is, what is the best move that the Warriors could make in this upcoming offseason that would put them back in title contention?
Best move is to get Klay Thompson healthy. I mean, duh. Get Klay Thompson back with a healthy Steph Curry, a healthy Klay Thompson. That's the best shooting backcourt in the history of basketball. As far as I'm concerned, at least the trip to the conference finals is damn near automatic. By the way, Wiseman is going to be good. Keep Draymond. And I tell you, if you can, get rid of Wiggins, give up a couple of picks, and go out there and trade that to Philadelphia for Ben Simmons. Put Ben Simmons in Golden State with Clay and Steph and watch what the hell happens. It would be special. They'd win the chip next year as far as I'm concerned. Jaden, what's up? You're next.
If Damian Lillard were to leave Portland, what team would he go to and why?
What was that? First of all, I could barely see your face. Secondly, if your hair was a little bit fuller, you'd look like the kid from Jerry Maguire, okay? For all I know. Thirdly, Damian Lillard, I tell you this. He ain't going to the Lakers. I can't see that happening. Knowing him, he's a loyalist and a rough rider, and he ain't trying to join some super team. He'd probably end up staying in Portland. I know he'd prefer to be in New York with the Knicks than joining the Lakers because of that circus and what have you. But you just don't know right now. He's owed so much money, over $175 million over the next 4 years. I mean, Damian Lillard is making a lot of money, and he's a superstar, and you've got to get equitable compensation for him, which I don't think Neil O'Shea believes he can get. So it's hard to see, but I will tell you this. He didn't sign off on Chauncey Billups necessarily. He wasn't opposed to it. He preferred Mike D'Antoni because Mike D'Antoni was using Steve Nash as an MVP and James Harden as an MVP under his stewardship to say to Damian Lillard, I'm the right guy for the Portland job. Chauncey Billups has no experience. I don't think Damian Lillard has anything against him, but he doesn't have any experience. So the unknown has him a bit, shaky on it. But in the end, bottom line is Chauncey Billups is now your coach. I believe in Chauncey, and I think Damian Lillard might end up giving him a chance of just choosing to stay in Portland. All right, Devontae, you got next. What's up?
Hey, Stephen A., I got a question for you. If one of these remaining teams in the NBA playoffs with only one superstar win, does that mean their championship is better or worse or more important or less important than, let's say, LeBron's when he won with AD or with Dwayne Wade?
Well, I definitely think that if you're a lone superstar and you don't have superstars as sidekicks or as your teammates, your stature definitely gets elevated to some degree. It's not to say you dismiss LeBron and what he accomplished, or KD and what he accomplished, or Steph Curry and what he accomplished, along with various others. But if you are the lone superstar on your team and you propel your team to those heights by the way you play, there's certainly a level of cachet that you're going to have at your disposal compared to the others to some degree. I don't think that's deniable. Finally, Jeremy, get at me. What's up?
What's up, Stephen A? I'm back from Miami, but this time I'm not here about the heat of the Dolphins. I'm here about the Scripps National Spelling Bee Championship on July 8th. Stephen A, you're known for using big words on SportsCenter, First Take, and Stephen A's World, but do you think you can spell those words like the people participating in the championship can? You think? I want to get at you about that, Stephen A.
Hell no! I can't spell like those kids. Are you crazy? You ain't set me up with that. Hell to the no. I can't do it. See, you got to know your lane. You got to know your lane. Your problem is you don't know your lane. You talked all of this smack about your Miami teams, and then when they fell apart, there was an APB out for you in South Beach. For weeks, we couldn't find you. And then when you come back at me after weeks of disappearing and being in hiding because you were wrong about your Miami Heat, you're going to come at me with the spelling bee? First of all, I'm not as smart as those kids. Secondly, and more importantly, even if I was, I wouldn't do anything to sit up there and diminish them by beating them in a contest or anything not like that. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because Stevie A love the kids. Stevie A love the kids. He sure does.
Chris Paul is in the NBA Finals. What do you think when you hear that sentence?
Man, it sounds damn good. Damn good. I write something on my shoes every game to say, can't give up now.
We do what we're supposed to do, I get the last laugh.
A season ago, the Phoenix Suns sat at home during the playoffs. Today, they're sitting at home waiting to see who they'll play in the NBA Finals. Almost no one saw this transformation coming.